was your first reaction when you heard Colorado Rockies? I mean, obviously in this game anything can happen at any point in time, but it felt like you were pretty set to stay with Toronto for a while. So what was your reaction?
I was excited, definitely a little bittersweet at first, just knowing, an era ends with, so many good relationships there, teammates, coaching staff, just personnel. So that's sad, but definitely ready to start a new chapter here. I live here now, so coming home for spring training, playing on the West Coast, I've heard nothing but good things with the Rockies. So, super excited when I heard the news.
And then obviously you realize Coors Field is going to be your home ballpark. Does that get you salivating a little bit when you think about the offensive potential?
Yeah, most definitely. I think, everybody thinks of the power that you can put up there, but also just the better on base, better average with how big the outfield is. Some hits drop that, people don't see in other ballparks. So along with the power. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to get out there and hit there.
One of the things the Rockies have talked about is your defense, though, in Coors Field also. You comfortable with all three outfield positions and the size of that?
Yeah, most definitely. I think right and center I'm most comfortable, just because reps-wise I've had those the most over the last few years. But yeah, I'm definitely open to playing anywhere and, excited. I think hitting is kind of one of those things that everybody wants to work towards and then have a great year offensively and help the team win offensively, and that's great, and I feel the same way. But I think defensively is kind of that one that, you can control that. You're not facing somebody. So, I love going out there and putting my last at-bat behind me and going and playing hard and trying to make a play for the pitcher. Obviously, those guys are out there giving it their all. So anytime you can help them out on a ball that, they think, got away and might be an extra base hit in the gap or, a chance to make a play at the wall, those are kind of special for me. And so it's a big outfield, and I'm excited to get out there and run around a little bit.
Do you understand the challenges of what it's like playing at Coors in that big outfield? I mean, did you already know about it, or people told you about it?
Yeah, I mean, I've played there a little bit as a visitor, so not obviously for half the season. I was talking to Blackman a little bit this morning about it. I feel like I'm probably going to talk to the training staff and the string staff, a little bit more about, taking care of my body differently to, withstand a full season playing out there. But yeah, I know it's not easy. There's guys here that's done it and done it for years, so I'll definitely lean on them to help me out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Randal, the Blue Jays, most people accounts are, certainly a playoff contender, and some people are calling the Blue Jays a World Series contender. The Rockies, they're coming off some losing seasons. How much did you know about the Rockies, and from what you know, do you think this team has a chance to get back in things?
Yeah, most definitely. I think initially when I heard the trade, I was super excited to come home. Super excited. Obviously, they had signed Brian already, and at that point, that shows that they're not throwing the towel in and saying it is what it is. We're in a tough division, and we're just kind of going to do a rebuild. So that was exciting to see and know. And yeah, I mean, I work out with some of the guys in the off season, so I'm familiar with some of the faces, and definitely have heard great things going into the year. Obviously, like I said, it's a tough division, but there's a lot of talent on this team, and hopefully we can sneak up and have a good year and fun year.
Who are some of those guys that you've worked out with?
Nunez, Hampson. I've played with CJ, Shashin. KB I've played against in St. Louis for years. Have somewhat of a relationship there. Yeah, there's a bunch of other pitchers too that are at the gym that we train at.
And Jenny mentioned, you're going to be playing at Coors Field and like the hitter's park of all hitter's parks. What would you say is your biggest strength offensively?
I would say power. Obviously, there's obviously a conversation to be had with the coaching staff and the hitting coach about how they want me to, view myself as a hitter and going into the year. Obviously, you can try to be the best power hitter you can be, or you can try to be the best well-rounded hitter. Obviously, if you try to be the best well-rounded hitter you can, the slugging is probably going to dip a little bit and the power is probably going to dip a little bit. So really it's just a conversation to be had about what's most important for them and how they view my potential season, upcoming season, a good one. If that's high slugging, if that's trying to be a tough out in the box while having slugging, it's just a conversation to be had.
Randal, when you're with the Blue Jays and you kind of sense that something's going to happen, were you thinking about this as a possibility this season?
Honestly, no. I didn't really know the situation, the outfield situation here. I talked to my agent going into the offseason about, they were open to trading an outfielder or two. We knew they wanted to get a left-handed bat in their lineup. It kind of heard it could be me, could be Lourdes Gurriel, or it could be Teoscar. So we knew something was possible. Did not know the Rockies were looking for outfielders, so it was a little bit of a shock, but definitely an excited one.
When you signed with the Jays, kind of you're part of that future going there. It sounds like you have a lot of confidence that you're going to help lift the team, and it sounds like this team needs you. How does it feel to be needed in that respect? Yeah,
it definitely feels good. Anytime you're wanted, and a team goes out there and gets you, and wants you to play every day, that's a great sign. And there are definitely things that we were doing in Toronto that I think elevated some of those hitters the last couple of years. And hopefully I can bring some of that over here and see how they work and how they go about their business and kind of mold the two together and do what's best for everyone.
Have you spent much time in Colorado or Denver other than as a visiting player on occasion?
No, just a few games here and there.
Okay, so do you know much about it, or are you looking forward to
I don't know much about it. Every time we've gone, it's been the summertime and it's been amazing weather, so I'm definitely excited to get to see some more of the city and spend some time there. But yeah, no, haven't other than a few days here and there.
I know, as Hampson was saying, you guys have worked out living here in the off season. How many Rockies are you familiar with?
Oh, there's probably, I would say 8 or 10 in there that either I've worked out with, played with at some point, or just played against that, are infielders that, you see around the bases during pitching changes, or just getting the third or getting the second. So yeah, this is probably one of the more familiar teams relationship-wise that I could have got dealt to.
And what kind of vibe do you get from this team? Because obviously they've struggled the last 3 years or so. Do you get the vibe that they are ready to take another step? Yeah,
I really do. I mean, this team, since I've gotten here, they seem loose. They seem like they're having a good time, but they're working hard, and they have the talent. Like I said, obviously it's a tough division, but everything that I've seen and heard has been great things, and I'm looking forward to it.
This is like the 4th time you've been dealt now, right?
3rd.
From the Angels
to the Cardinals to Toronto.
Team.
Yes.
Does it make difference, or do you get to where you just accept that's part of the game?
Oh yeah, it's part of the game. It's obviously something you can't control, and obviously being in the game for a little while now, I've realized that I can't worry about things I can't control. Just can worry about what I can control, and that's playing, preparing, and going out there and giving it my all every night. So it's part of the business, and I'm not too caught up in it.
Each time you've been traded, though, you have been able to have a significant part of the team. I guess that would make it easier.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, you're getting dealt and not doing much, or not having somewhat of a role, that'd be tough. But yeah, if I can do anything to help the team win, I'm happy to.
Having played in both National League, American League, having the Universal DH now, is that an exciting prospect, coming to a team with so much power that you guys can spread that around, and moving parts, you might get a day off but keep your bat in, all those things? Yeah,
most definitely. I was actually talking to some of the guys today about it. I think not having, my first year in Toronto was Kendry Morales last year, and he was the DH. He DH'd every day, might have played first a couple times of the year. So it was one of those where you're not going to get a day off and still get your at-bats, and that's something that I'm looking forward to here. Obviously playing in Colorado, it's tough on the body. I've heard that obviously from a number of people, but to be able to, hey, you can still get your 4 at-bats and take a day off on the body, that's huge. And I think obviously, I don't know how they're going to do it, but rotating the DH would be very beneficial that I've seen in Toronto the last couple of years.
What is it offensively that you've identified that's going to let you take that next step as a complete hitter?
Yeah, I think a familiar name here is Dante Bichette, and he came out to spring training in 2020 and really worked with a lot of the hitters in Toronto about their 2-strike approach. Understanding kind of what you're doing up there approach-wise and sticking with it. I think a lot of guys struggle to form an approach and then stick with it in the box, and he's allowed me to stay true to my approach and stick with it throughout a full at-bat while battling with 2 strikes and understanding what you're looking for. And he's changed the way I've looked at my game and my game moving forward. Last year was kind of a tough year for me. I started off really hot, did a little bit of a tinkering in my mechanics and struggled, and then Springer was coming back and kind of kept looking over my shoulder about when he's coming back and what's going to happen. So it didn't end the way I wanted to, but it started the way I wanted to, and you know, I learned from it, and now know you know, more about myself going into this season.
Yeah, I've read a lot of quotes from you talking about sticking with an approach. It sounds like it's easier said than done, right?
Oh, 100%. If anybody's been in the box in a big league game, you definitely understand that, you know, one pitch could completely change your mindset and what you're thinking up there going into the box. And, you know, there's tons of at-bats where you don't swing at the first pitch, and that happens. So you just got to know you've prepared, you're ready to go, and that the approach you thought and are going with going into the box is still good throughout the at-bat, and just sticking with it.
Anything else for Randal?
Thank you, Randal.
Thanks, Randal.
Perfect.
Thanks, Randal.
No problem.